Active in over 130 countries, with over 100,000 volunteers, over 7 million young people have done the award to date. Hello, I'm Oscar Subakti, and I'd like to welcome you to the International Award for Young People. This is a fantastic program of self-development that challenges young people everywhere to explore and discover their full potential. Behind the program's outstanding success is a global network of experienced leaders who are responsible for the good and consistent governance required in every country that is licensed to operate the award. I welcome you to this global family of over 1,000 directors and trustees whose commitment and good governance is transforming the lives of young people everywhere.
One word. I think I would be saying wow.
Self-satisfaction is the word.
I'd say it's life-changing.
I would say it's challenging.
For capacity building.
It is very personal.
Empowering.
Perseverance.
It's a challenge.
Inspirational.
Transforming.
Togetherness.
The thing I like about the award, it's for 14 to 25-year-olds, and it's almost that period where you transition from being a child into an adult.
The award program is divided into 4 sections, each with 3 levels.
Those levels, they bring out the aspect of progression and also the aspect of stickability and sustaining what you want to do in life.
It's very empowering because it shows the youth what we can do. The 4 components, the skills, the service, the physical recreation, and the expedition, they all really lead into creating a more universal individual.
I think the award for me is about change, it's about transformation, and I've seen it at work. Not just simply affecting individual lives, but also the context in which people live their lives. And when I came across the award, it was clearly making a difference.
I think what's unique about the award is it is very personal and it's non-competitive, that any young person in any circumstances can benefit and get something out of it.
The International Award Association can issue 1 national licence per country to an approved national award authority. If there is no national award authority in a country, the award can be run through approved independent operators. Each national award authority has a governing body, which appoints a national director to implement the objectives. The National Award Authority can licence other organisations to deliver the program.
We could be talking about sports organisations, educational institutions, employer groups.
The corporate sector has decided to do a corporate social responsibility. We are teaming up with corporates which employ youth in thousands in the BPO sector.
In Kenya, for example, we are able to patch, for example, on the government. The Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports do run youth programs. So we go and patch on the existing programs. For example, if you look at schools, they have activities that are ongoing. For example, they might have a wildlife club, they might have scouting, guiding, and all that. So what we do, we go and patch them. So patch on what they're already doing. So that becomes more of a program as opposed to being an organization.
Now, what I found about the award is that it had all the properties of a gas. It would expand to fit the shape of whatever your container was. And if your container was a well-off secondary school, it would expand to fit the shape of that container and strengthen the walls of that container. If you worked or were part of a marginalised youth group in Limerick City, where I live, that it would expand to fit the shape of that container. If you were a young person serving a prison sentence within the prison system in Ireland, you can do your award within the prison system. You can take this award programme, you can put it into the prison system, and it will expand to fit the shape of the prison container.
We're a programme, not an organisation, but we still require an organisational structure through which we can function. You need strong governance principles. You need to be running it in a proper manner.
Determining the governance of the award in a country is the single most important thing a board can do. In practice, they would be considering what is the right legal structure for the National Award Authority. They'd be looking at its strategic direction. They'd be looking at its value sets, its policy framework, board structure, resources to their staffing or to their volunteer base.
Essentially, the Board of Management are responsible basically for the strategic direction of the organisation and ensuring in broad terms that it achieves its objectives as set down in whatever its constitutional document is.
It sets the goals it wants to achieve. These are typically linked into the country's priorities. So if there's very high unemployment in the youth in the country, or there's certain sectors that need priority, the board should be close to that and monitoring that and picking up on those.
Its job is to recruit appropriate people at an executive level to discharge those objectives and then to go about achieving those objectives.
The single most important decision a board makes is the appointment of the national director. It's the pivotal role for the organisation in terms of implementing strategy, implementing its objects.
The national director basically implements management issues, while the board are involved in issues of leadership.
Accountability, I think, is the most important issue. To make sure that we're transparent in our operation and we're accountable to our stakeholders. So that would be, most importantly, the participants in the award program, their leaders, parents, and corporations who donate so generously to the award program.
If you're giving money, you want to know that it's going to be used properly. If you are a beneficiary of that service, you want to know that it's being delivered to the highest possible standard. And governance is about achieving that. It's about creating an atmosphere, a context in which people do their work.
So it's not about you. That's the basic thing. It's not about you. It's about the delivery of the program. So it's important to sometimes just stop and say, okay, this is what the program is about. This is how I'm to deliver it.
I think then having an understanding of how the organisation, if it's an organisation that's already standing, how it discharges its business, to have a look at the Memorandum of Association, to have a look at the Articles of Association or its constitutional or charter document and find out exactly what is it the organisation says it is meant to be doing. And then by talking to people or by reading annual reports or by whatever mechanism actually find out what then is the reality. Is there a congruence between what's said and is there a congruence between what actually is done on the ground on a regular basis?
Every 3 years there's an international gold event which is hosted by a selected country, and at that event they nominate 12 youth representatives to sit on the International Council for 3 years, and it gives an opportunity for the council to have a youth perspective on events and ideas that they have.
We influence policy making for the international award on behalf of young people, and we represent the voices of young people in the International Council.
We say we're transforming lives, but are we really? And we're getting initial indications from that research that in fact we really are. We're making a difference in high school completion, university completion, better health practices, more participation in physical activity, a desire to serve their community.
Government has a serious agenda on issues of young people. And so you need to partner with government. You also need to help government to understand the importance of involving young people in areas of leadership development so that it contributes to the socio-economic development of the nation.
I hope that we can have as many countries in the award as there are countries in the United Nations, and that we can deliver the award to everybody who needs it.
The opportunities are limitless, quite frankly. There's a lot of people in the world. We've got out to 6 million. There's another 5 or 6 billion to go. And that's the opportunity.
This is special work, you know, the way I would view it. I mean, I'm on a third career effectively, so I am. And this is a job that, if you're into it and have an understanding of it, it can be hugely positive and sustaining, not just for yourself, but for everybody around you as well.
When you're working with the Duke of Edinburgh Award, your end product is somebody who has changed and blossomed before your very eyes. When you're working with a corporation, you're worried about the bottom line. Okay, are we making enough money? Our currency is people.
Think about what you bring to the award. Think what you bring to the table. Think also what it was, not only that drew you to the award, but what drew the award to you. I mean, yeah, you found the award, but the award also found you at the end of the day, one way or the other. Whether you are taking on a role as a national director or whether you're joining one of the governance institutions of the award. So just take time to reflect on that and don't lose whatever that was.